good, y'all? It's Nas here. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about tips on how I take care of shoes that are 5 years and older. Now, recently, I've been acquiring a lot of shoes that are kind of old. They're mostly in that 5+ range of how old the sneakers are. So I just wanted to give out some of the tips that I use and that I've seen around the web and stuff like that to take care of some of these older shoes. Now, the reason I decided to make this video is just because some people do not know how to really care for some of these older shoes, and I thought it would be great to give out some of my tips and tricks that I use to keep some of these shoes looking pristine and wearable. Now, the first tip that I have is to keep in a dark place. Now, a bonus on top of that is you usually want to keep it in a dark place. Hopefully the shoes that you bought have the shoebox if they're an older shoe. So what I do is I usually keep my older shoes in the shoebox, and I keep them in the darkest side of my closet. Now, I do like my room kind of cold, so that's kind of a bonus for keeping them in good condition. But I like keeping them in the box. And for example, I have my Jordan 4s right here from 2006, and I also have them in a little packaging that is sealed kind of tight. So that way, on top of them being in the box, even if I open the box, they're not open up to direct air or anything like that. So that's the first tip. Now let's get into the second. Now the next tip of advice I have is to wear the older shoes every once in a while. Not saying that you have to wear the shoes every single day, but if you're going to wear them every single day, then that's honestly your choice. But if you're not, then still wear them once in a while. I know that a lot of us sneakerheads like trying to keep older shoes and never wearing them, but by allowing them to just be worn every once in a while, maybe for like an hour or something around the house, it allows the glue and other things like that to stay in good shape. Now this is my best example right here, the Air Force One for 2007 in the Hawaii pack, because there is no separation on the upper to the midsole whatsoever. I've worn this shoe maybe once recently so far this year, but as you can see, the condition is in such great shape for a 13-year-old shoe that you would think that these shoes came out a few months ago. So definitely recommend wearing your shoes every once in a while just to keep them in good shape, and that way when you want to wear them, you're still able to. Now my next tip of advice is to be mindful of the materials that the older shoe has. As you can see on this shoe, this whole upper part with the leather and this little tweed right here on the toe is in still very nice and kind of plush condition. But once you start to look at the midsole, you can see that they are starting to crumble a little bit and the paint has started to chip off. So always be mindful of the material on the older shoes, because some materials will go out before others do. Now this pair is still wearable, but it's just every time I wear them the paint chips off more and more. So I probably have to get them repainted soon, but as far as the upper goes, they're still in pretty strong shape. So this is another example of something that you should look out for when taking care of older shoes. Now, my next tip is to make sure that you can put something inside the shoe to allow it to hold their shape. Now, I know even though you're storing them in certain circumstances, they might be stacked on top of other shoes and things like that, but you also want to keep them stuffed with like some paper bags or the little stuffing or shoe tree that comes with it. These I actually have a shoe tree inside, which allows the shoe to not only stay in shape but to stay flat. I definitely recommend them. I got it from like IKEA for like $3. But by having the shoe maintain its shape, once it starts to age a bit, it won't be like super deformed and stuff like that the next time you go to wear it. So you won't have to worry about your older shoes looking like elf shoes when you go to put them on. It's just something that you need to be mindful of, just because older shoes, the materials are completely different than the materials that you use now. So pay attention to that. Now last but not least, you want to keep your shoes clean. Now you can see that this is actually my 2001 pair neutral gray Jordan 1s, which are actually expected to drop later this year. But if you would look at them right now, you would think that this is an early release pair. Now, a good thing of keeping older shoes clean is so not only when the next time you go to wear them, you can actually wear them and they look super duper shiny and brand new, but also cleaning them will help you to see any defects or anything that the shoe is starting to form because of its age. So cleaning them not only helps you to keep your shoes fresh, but it also helps you to be aware of things that are starting to deteriorate or anything like that on the shoe. Now, that was really it for today's video. I just wanted to share those 5 tips with you guys just because I know a lot of people probably already know it, but there's still a amount of people that don't. So I just wanted to get that little advice out for right now. I know since everyone's stuck inside, there are some people that are still like the shoppers right now. I know a lot of older shoes have been going up on like GRAILED and DEPOP and stuff like that. So I wanted to get that tip out because I know a lot of people are looking for like older shoes and all types of stuff like that right now since everyone's inside. So I just wanted to give you guys that advice. That's all for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.